Hey everybody.
Hey, we're back.
Hello, hello. What's up everybody? Nice to see you all here. I see a couple familiar faces and a couple new ones as well.
Yeah.
Let us know where you're watching from and let us know if this is your first time. If it's your first
Yes.
time, hi, welcome to Office Hours. Go ahead and just wave at us. Give us a wave emoji
Yeah,
in
we see
chat.
you.
And if you're on YouTube, come over to Behance, behance.net/live. Leave us a red heart in chat and let us know that you're coming from over there. Um, hi, Nick. Hello.
What's up, Andrew?
I'm
What are we doing
I'm
here?
so excited. What's happening here? We are
It's great to
launching.
be back.
It is. It's great to be back. We're launching a new season of a show that we've been doing for a while called Adobe Office Hours. If you see Nick and I looking all over the place, that's because there are things all over the place for us. We brought the highest production for you guys. Chat, you are over here for me. Nick, where's chat for you?
Chat's over here for me, so we're looking good.
There we go.
Looking total opposite ways. I love it.
Total opposite. I also have switched our positions on the lineups. So as you go through from last season, we're in different places. All right. Go ahead and let's introduce ourselves for all the new
Let's
folk
start
here.
there.
Let's start there.
Yeah.
Say hello. Nick, go ahead and introduce yourself.
All right. What's up, everybody? My name is Nick Longo, and I'm based here in Los Angeles, California. Graphic designer, branding is my specialty. Love doing that. I run Longo Designs, which we do mostly food, beverage, restaurant design, kind of the center point of what we kind of love to do. And I teach as well at Cal State Northridge here in Los Angeles. We've been doing this for a year now. Having this kind of cool Adobe connection and doing this every Friday has been like the third job, right? It's actually quite a little bit of a blast. And got a great podcast called the DGDC. You can look it up as well. Tons of great content there as well. Andrew,
Me.
who are you?
Hello. My name is Andrew Hockrattle. I run Hawk.co. I do a little bit of everything, special projects. I run a conference called CanceledCon, as well as doing branding, identity work, a lot of streaming here on Behance, education, anything creative. I'll do it for you as long as you throw money at me. Nick and I also co-produce, obviously, Office Hours here. We've been doing this for a little over a year. So if you're just joining us, you got a lot of catching up to do. You need to listen
Yeah.
fast because you've got a year of content that you can catch up on and hang out with. But we are always so happy to see you. And yes, someone just mentioned something that is very special that I want to talk about pretty much right away before we get into anything. And that is a link that's floating down below us. We have a new link, I believe, and I think our new link is bit.ly/OH cabin chat. And we have a very special cabin chat. I know, everything's themed out, guys. Only the highest for you. We have a very special cabin chat right here. This is our Discord. Go ahead and go to that link and join in. And over in the corner, you can see that we have, right now, it's called Classroom Chat. I'm sure we'll update that at some point. But you can join our voice chat, which is unique to this show. You can go hang out and talk to your friends, get engaged on a voice level instead of just sitting in the chat over here. So go join the voice channel. We may pop in there later and say hello. So go join that. And then after the show, we'll have a little bit of a cabin chat there for 10 minutes or so to kind of just catch up and review how you guys liked the show.
Yeah. What are you guys thinking of all the cool stuff already? I mean, Andrew's been working like crazy on all of these slides and everything. We got cool new branding ready to go. So excited to do this. Seeing a ton of great names in chat there as well. I see my buddy Jason. What's up, dude?
Yes.
This is great, man.
It is.
Good way to start it off, man. Good way to start it.
So talking about starting, Nick, what is this show? We have a new season here, Office Hours Summer Camp. What is going on here?
Let's talk about it. So when we thought of what we were going to do for summer, Andrew immediately was like, summer camp, yes, please. We're like, excellent, great idea. And the idea here is we want to continue this conversation we've been having. We're thinking it's summertime. If you were in school, obviously you're taking a break. If you're a professional, you're obviously doing the same thing. But just to kind of keep the creative juices flowing over summer, the idea here is to have tons of great content. We're still going to do a lot of on-screen kind of stuff throughout all the programs with Adobe, but also too, we want to bring some great new people on board as well who are going to help us out with fire chat kind of talks and things like that. We're also doing merit badges. We're going to give you guys great homework to do just to get you all kind of organized. Hint at today's topic, for the next few months, man.
Yes, so we will be doing each week, we are going to do either an outdoor adventure or a merit badge challenge. And so the show is split up into 2-week chunks. We'll be covering the same topic both weeks from different perspectives. And so today we will be covering from a merit badge perspective. There'll be something for you to actually get hands-on. We're going to show you some tips and tools to use within the Creative Cloud suite. And then next week, we'll be talking more about a concept or an idea, which will give you a little preview to at the end of this episode. But yes, we've already updated. I just saw in our Discord, we have already updated our cabin chat. So go hang out in the cabin chat and go say hi to all the friends. And yes, merit badges, they are already in Discord. So we'll be awarding those with the homework.
What? Nice.
All right, Nick. I'm looking at my rundown. I know we have so much to do today, and so I'm looking at my rundown, making sure we're hitting it all. I think that we're good, but I want to talk a little bit about expectations before we jump into things. We want to make sure that we are meeting your expectations and that we're communicating kind of what we're expecting over the next 13 weeks as we go through summer camp. Nick, what are your expectations of what you're going to get out of summer camp or what our community can do during summer camp? What are your expectations?
I think it's a way of kind of not losing steam with everything that I've seen our community, all of you guys out there that have built great relationships together, seeing each other on Discord, helping each other out with projects, giving each other inspiration. As long as that keeps going, that's like my number one kind of expectation for everything here too as well. We also do, like Andrew said, we want to hear back from you guys. What are those things that maybe you're still struggling with, or things about the creative process, running your own business, graduating, resume? There's so much that you could be doing right now when you have a little bit of a break. So let's just make sure we're taking advantage of all that time. What about you, bud?
I think my expectation would be to have fun. I think that there's a lot of pressure that has been on a lot of us for a while. And so we're going to be giving you some tips and tricks. We're going to be giving you homework. And I would hope that you would follow along and you do them and you'd earn the merit badges and have fun. But most of all, just have fun. Don't put any crazy expectations on yourself that this is going to be a life-changing 13 weeks. It's going to be fun. We're going to have a good time.
It's not?
It can be, but don't expect it. Yeah. It could be, who knows? But yeah, I feel like we don't want to let ourselves down. So let's manage those expectations and let's just have fun.
It's still summer camp, right? Come on.
Yes. Mimi says all of this without the poison oak. It's true. It's true. We're going to refer, instead of dumpster fires when things go wrong technically, it's going to be that we ran into a patch of poison oak this season.
Totally.
All right, so Nick, what are we talking about today? Let's go ahead and hop into a little bit of our lecture, kind of to walk through the ideas, and then we'll get super hands-on.
We thought the first place we can kind of start here is the collaboration, all of us kind of working together and doing things.
I forgot. Sorry, I have a great transition for this that I forgot that I built. So
wait,
here we go.
Rewind.
Let's rewind.
Go.
You know what? It's time to go to a wilderness training. All right, here we are in our wilderness training screen. It was seamless. All right, Nick, go ahead and hop in. Let's get started.
Professionals. Don't forget, we are professionals at this.
Yes, professional.
I've only been doing it for a year.
Yeah.
So collaborations, working together, getting organized. The coolest thing that we've been seeing, I think, the last few weeks was anytime we did some stuff with libraries or sharing collaborations with files and things like that. Andrew and I are basically doing that all the time to just run this show and do all these different kinds of things. So we want to show you guys some great tips. Also, what are the benefits of actually working together? And we want you guys to do the same with others that are in the community as well. Finding someone that you can just work on a passion project together or something like that. We want to show you why that's so important and what you can get out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And we talked, if you guys have ever been to summer camp, right, the buddy system. You have your pool day, you go swimming, and it's so important, right, that it's like, where's your buddy? And you have to be like, buddy! You have to find your buddy. And that's how collaboration is. It's really important to find your buddy. And that's why we push our Discord so much for you guys to go and get involved with that Discord. It's a great place to find a buddy. So like right now, if you want, go into Discord and find a buddy, right? Post in the channel, send them a DM, just be like, hey, you want to be my buddy for the next 13 weeks? Because it's going to be so much easier to collaborate with someone and go along with someone as you work on stuff. And today we're, going to be talking about collaboration. And Nick, I think you're going to be my buddy for the next 13 weeks.
There we go.
So
we got this down.
We've got ours. We're not going to drown. We're going to save each other if we start to drown. But go find your camp friend. And hey, Amy Hood is here. Yay. Just before the show, I told Nick, I hope one of the hoods shows up because it always gives me an extra boost.
Your wish came true. What's up, Amy?
Hello. Nice to see you here. It gives me an extra boost. All right. So continuing on, let's talk about time differences. Nick.
Yes. Oh, wait. We have one prior before that, don't we?
Skipped it. Yep. Go ahead.
Pros
Professionals.
Again. Pros. All right. So let's talk about some of these benefits. And I think we can attest to some of this stuff as well, working together remotely on this kind of show and putting things together like this. The best collaborations just don't have the most complementary skill sets, but they also kind of want to work together and bring out the best in each other. Sometimes, don't you agree? I think the best person to work with is maybe someone that might be a bit 180 or somewhat different, or bring different skill sets to the mix, right?
Yep. So I'm working on a project right now. I'm doing branding for a plant store, which is super fun. And I hired someone to do the initial comps and concepts with me that is completely the other side of fun illustration, flowery, bright colors. And then I was like, okay, cool. Let's see if it was more refined and more simplistic. And I hired because I wanted that complementary skill set. I'm like, cool, let's present options that I couldn't do by myself. Let's find a buddy to jump on this with me.
Yeah, I love it too, because I think then you build up a really good resource. How many times have we heard from the community, how do I build up my kind of collective creative group or team and everything like that? Work with someone once and forget about it. They are family to you at that point.
Yes.
And you can kind of go back to them anytime you need them on that kind of thing, which is, I think, is one of the best benefits of this for sure.
Yep, absolutely. Sorry, I just want to point something out in chat that happened. So we've talked about this a million times, right? Of artists that you like or look up to, or you're like, oh my gosh, their work is so good, right? That we've talked about Chutzpah Design a million times. That it's like, oh my gosh, their work is so good. And we always talk about hey, these people you look up to that you love, literally send them a message, send them a DM, send them a tweet, and they're usually happy to talk, to give feedback, whatever. And Amy literally just did that. She's tweet me anytime. And so it definitely is something that is real, that it's very easy to reach out to some of these people. They're going to have great feedback for you, and they're very approachable. So we talk about it a million times, and I loved that it just happened in chat here in office hours.
I love it. The voice gets really high when it's very approachable.
You know what, Nick? Thanks for joining the stream, everyone. We're going to have a new co-host next week.
I'm sorry.
No, we're fine. I know I jumped the octave. All right.
I do the same thing when I talk about money.
Yes. So let's talk about time differences real quick. So using time difference as an advantage, work can be done around the clock. Always each creative creating a fresh outlook. I have a lot of clients that are on the East Coast, and then some that are in Tasmania and Australia, and collaborating with them is a dream, because they can send me something at the end of their day and it's 2:00 for me. So then they can have it by the next morning super easily, right? They can dodge their deadlines by just going back in time.
I would also recommend to anybody who's looking to connect with another Adobe creative community person here as well, pick someone from a completely different part of the world or time zone. Because what's neat about even doing a passion project, you could put something to bed, go to bed, the other person could be working on it while you're sleeping. And there's this refresh kind of vibe of one time, one of the agencies I worked at, we had a London-based and a Hong Kong-based office. And we were literally no job was ever not being worked on at a certain time. It was around the clock thing. And there's a certain amount of refreshing kind of vibe when you can wake up, see what kind of progress was done while you were kind of off of that thing. And it's a renewed energy with something, particularly if you're in a creative block or something like that. Why not pull that and get that with another creative? I think this is one of the best benefits to do it, just for the sake of even a passion project. Would be a blast.
Absolutely. Continuing on. Mutual respect, Nick. What's the deal with mutual respect? It's a big deal. We've talked about it before.
Yeah, because let's face it, if you're working together with someone on a project, you have an end goal in mind that is the same. You're not on two separate paths just working parallel. So this idea that I think we all get this as far as a competitive vibe of if you're working on the same thing and it's almost a competitive kind of style, it could hurt you as you're kind of designing and you're thinking more about beating rather than actually finishing the goal. Work with someone together, and all of a sudden that is no longer the priority. The priority is the goal. The priority is the project, maybe even the client if you're doing something together with that. But again, it pushes the personal ego aside and all of that weird positioning, and it's just more of a kind of a group effort. And I think some of the best work has come out of the things that I've done primarily with collaborations. What do you say?
Yeah, I agree. I think that collaborating is so important, and I think that it like almost keeps you in check. And this is a preview to next week. We're gonna be talking about accountability, and I think that having that collaboration is such good accountability. I know there's been times with you that I'm like, hey, I've been slacking. I need to do more on office hours. I'll pick it up. I'm sorry. And it just having that collaborator helps you step it up. And then on the other side can help you keep someone else accountable to be like, hey man, I really need you in this.
It's so interchangeable when it comes to that, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. Let's talk about creative projects. What's the bonus of collaborating on creative projects?
Yeah, so some of these benefits as well. Collaborating on these things, the best thing I think you can do too, again, pushing your social visibility or the circles of your connection. The more people you work with, and let's say that person, I work with Andrew on something and he posts it, it's going to a whole new world of followers, friends, and maybe even other clientele in a way. Now I've just raised myself up in visibility faster than anything else I could probably do on my own social kind of platforms. So you're doing that. It's kind of the whole idea of like that snowball effect. So particularly if you're posting something and sharing it on LinkedIn or somewhere different, that to me is a gold mine because you're reaching people that can actually be decision makers. So most cases, anytime we've heard from someone here on the community, what can I do to get more visibility? How many to the rescues did we did? It was all about visibility.
Visibility. Everyone wanted more visibility. Yes.
Work with someone, do a partnership.
And
right?
if you can find something outside of your zone, right? It's great to find your buddy here. It's great to be involved in design on Discord. But if you can find someone outside of like the design industry to collaborate with, it's a whole nother zone. So I'm working with the fashion designer in LA to release a men's streetwear line, right? Who knows how that happened?
First person I think of.
We started We started talking on Instagram, and it has turned into something that now I'm collaborating on like fashion stuff. I'm like, I don't know anything about fashion stuff, but because I found a cool collaborator who's a creative, jump in and be like, let's see where it goes. Let's collaborate on some stuff and see what happens. And now it's going to expose to a whole nother zone that like I'm not in the fashion zone at all, but I will be hopefully.
And now so you are.
Yeah, exactly. So it's really cool to like push into new zones and see where you can go. Reach out to people who maybe aren't designers to collaborate.
That's a great idea. It's also your skill set blossoms with that too, not just your social, kind of like status there. You know?
Absolutely. So we got a checklist for you guys. What's a checklist?
Let's do this. Yeah, so don't forget these things, even though you're working with someone. Always remember the goal in mind. I think that's great to determine really up first there. Agree on the concept that you might be working on. This is where you can kind of tangent off probably. If you stay on the same goal, then you don't have to always be working together at the same time. I think it breeds a much more refreshing kind of creativity when you're on the same path, you know what the goal is, and you get to see what each other do. Don't micromanage. I think that's a kind of maybe the first step in it kind of falling apart, and share the work constantly. I mean, I think you and I have probably maxed out whatever the limit we have on Slack or anything else with files back and forth and things like that. Because again, you want to be able to keep up to date as best as possible, and sharing your work constantly is the best way to do it.
And that's an interesting, sorry, Amy just said something that was interesting. I did a project, a personal project for Southwest where I did like a merch line for Southwest because I love Southwest. And I was like, I want to do this. So I made a merch line that was a personal project. And it maybe this collaboration had come out of that. Maybe he saw that and then we started working on this. So we talk about personal projects. Sometimes personal projects can turn into professional collaboration projects, right? You work by yourself with the hope of then being able to work with others. So it's an easy line. If you're working how to start that collaboration, do personal projects and then see if people want to start collaborating with you. And then it turns into a group project.
I didn't even think too, like for those people that are trying to get in a particularly design industry that they're not in right now, piggyback off someone that is, right? So that's another way. It's almost like sneaking into something because you're working and collaborating. If someone will take the chance with you, wonderful. Now you have that actual experience under your belt and on your resume.
Absolutely.
Wonderful.
So collaboration checklist. These are things maybe to be aware of that you have defined, right, Nick?
Yeah, exactly. Don't forget, these are always those things that you should probably have in any creative brief, but you want to make sure there's some background already looked at, the goal, the audience, the message, any existing resources. I know, like if we were to be working together and there's a nice little pile of added assets that we can work on, perfect. We have those ready to go. And what's the client's request? Just clear as crystal clear as you
Yep.
can. Now you have a good path to move forward on and go going.
Yep. And what's fun is today, Nick and I, right after this lecture, we're going to get hands on and we're going to show you, we're going to do a full like file build out, like logo library package, and not send a single file to each other. It's all going to be through Creative Cloud, collaboration sharing. We're going to do all our feedback in there. We're not going to have to do literally anything. So we're going to show you how to manage this collaboration from kind of a practical way.
Exactly.
Nick, we're getting organized. We're starting organized. What are tips to like making that actually happen?
Yeah, and I'm gonna do these tomorrow as well. So don't think these are things I'm already doing. But
these Sunday nights are when I do this.
Exactly. Yep. I actually love doing it the night prior to make sure my morning is as clear as I can and I know exactly what the expectations are. So even the night before, make a list of what you hope to accomplish the next day. And then when you scheduling that day, I think even putting things in the calendar even the smallest of things, when you're going to take lunch, whatever it might be, scheduling your day keeps you much more organized. But more importantly, review the notes from the prior day, because you want to make sure there's nothing lingering as well. But also too, I think there's a sense of accomplishment. I'm the kind of person, I will take the fattest marker and just like when I'm done with something, I just want it. I don't even want to see it anymore.
Yep.
And I love doing things on paper I'm more analog than digital than I am with this kind of organization.
So I love blocking things out on my calendar because I love being able to move them. And I know that that's like a lot of people are like, you have to stick to your calendar. I'm like, no. So I block out blocks. And then I'm like, my goal in life is to move those blocks as much as possible. And so I'll like schedule out my whole next day. And then I'll be like, oh man, I like am not feeling it this morning. Like, oh, I want to go to the gym, but the gym's not till later today. So let's move the gym up, and then I can move this project later tonight. Then I can move this thing into lunch, and I'll just have like a later lunch here. And I love being able to be like, all right, I have a plan. How do I augment that for how I'm feeling today? So I'm not forcing myself to do work, because sometimes you have to force yourself, but it shouldn't be the norm to force yourself to do stuff.
Yeah. What other tips do you have, man?
Get your files in order. Like, get it together. This is something that I think is really important. The zone that I like to live in, and this is kind of just a good zone, I think, is I never have files and folders in the same place. So if there is a file, it goes in a folder, and by the time I get down, there are only files in that folder. And that way it's not crazy. I'm not wondering what goes where. Everything has a folder, and then at the bottom of all those folders are files. So organize your file, figure out your own structure, and make sure you stick to it. I stick to it as a matter of habit within my Creative Cloud. On my desktop, that's a whole nother story. My downloads are a nightmare, but within Creative Cloud that I'm sharing with clients and keeping all this stuff together, I very much try to follow that. And then leverage Creative Cloud storage to keep things like up to date, keep them shared. Most of you, if you have a Creative Cloud subscription, you have, I believe, at least 2 gigabytes. There's a set amount that comes with it. So you have storage in Creative Cloud, use it. I have like a terabyte. I bought more, and I have like a terabyte, and it's the best thing ever.
And everything becomes second nature at that point. Once you're in the groove with it, I think it's just that it's your new habit.
Yep.
And I think it took a long time to get there, but wow, it makes all the difference now.
Yep. And then we're going to show you right now how to do feedback. Don't send emails to your clients. Send them the file so they can thumbtack, so they can tack in their feedback. We'll show you how to do that right now as we go through the process and get hands-on. So we'll talk about more of that in a second. And then again, eliminate the million emails, the different versions, all that stuff, right? We've all have the final done finished AI. That doesn't need to exist. You can literally not send any files, which Nick and I are going to walk you through right now, which is going to be rad.
You know what one of the best benefits of this feature is, and I've been learning this very, very recently, is I think sometimes clients want to send you piecemeal kind of changes to something. It might come half in one email, then someone else chimes in and it's another email. That's impossible to keep track of, and also you want them to be accountable. When you do it in this way and you ask for comments through either like Adobe Acrobat or whatever else you're using, it makes them do it right the first time.
Yep.
And especially if you charge for revisions. So keep that in mind, guys.
Yes. And Creative Cloud, Cloud Docs save revision history, so you can charge them per version. All right, Nick, a couple more points here talking about benefits of collaborating.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was my cue. Wow. We were really doing good there for a
We were
second.
doing well. We were flowing. It's okay. They didn't see anything.
There you go. That's all that matters, right?
That's all that matters.
Collaborating on creative projects attracts natural connections and visibility. Opening your things. Wait, we've already done this one, didn't we?
We already did this one. So
We are good to go.
thanks for your points, Nick. Wow, what great extra contribution you had here. Thank you.
Oh my goodness gracious. I gave you that one to update and select all and put yours in.
Yeah.
So
All right, so everyone, also we have some conversation happening in Discord. I'm just going to keep checking in because I want you all over there. There's some awesome conversation happening over in Discord. We're posting some slides. I'll be giving you this entire presentation in Discord, so it will be going in Discord right after the show. So a little more incentive so that you can have all of our tips and tricks that we went through here on the show.
excellent.
All right, it's time. I think it's time, Nick. Are you ready?
Are we firing up the actual Adobe programs here?
Guys, we're getting into Adobe programs.
Let's do it.
Let me adjust my hat. I am so sweaty. All right, let's go ahead. I just saw my face and it's real shiny. All right, let's go ahead and hop in and get hands-on. This is what I like to call our... Where's the button?
Dun, 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 dun.
There we go. Wilderness training.
There we go.
All right, Nick,
Look it up.
your screen is up, and here what we're doing is Nick is working on a document. And Nick, what are we working on?
So we want to make a little name badge. We're going to make a little
fun.
lanyard here. And we figured, we wanted to kind of keep it in the family here and take the office hour summer camp kind of branding to a new level, and maybe even make some merch somewhere down the road.
Oh, merch is probably happening this season. I know that we've talked about it for merch is probably happening. And what we're doing is I'm going to act as the client, and Nick is going to act as the designer. I'll be the collaborator designer as well a little bit. So we'll kind of walk you through what step of the process, but we're going to go start to finish on this, as if Nick, your creative brief that I'm giving you is that we need some name bags for office hours summer camp. So if you can make those, that'd be great.
That.
Let's make it happen.
All right, I'm on it. I've already made the die line. Look at that.
Yes,
Boom.
he's in it.
Love that. All right, so we found a little inspiration here. We saw something kind of cool here. The lanyard is kind of like a perfect universal way to do it. So what I'm going to do is just start kind of messing around, and maybe what I'll do is I'm going to take this guy because I think this is the one that I really kind of dig here, and we'll use this as maybe the inspiration here.
Ooh,
so
fun.
I'm just going to ungroup it here. Let's see what we can do here. I'm going to bring some of this artwork over. Excuse me here.
And as we're working on this, I want to let you guys know the camp that we're at all summer. I think we forgot to tell you where we are. We're hanging out at Camp Knowhow. That's the name of our camp for this summer. At Camp Knowhow with your counselors, Andrew and Nick. We're here for you. And so if you ever have questions, if you ever have comments, if you ever get lost in Camp Knowhow, we're here to help you. Just go ahead, put it in chat, put it in Discord, and we will call in the forces and try to get you the help that you need.
Wonderful. Look at that. So we already got something here. I might even do something let's get rid of our badge thing here for now. I'm just going to kind of start winging this. And I think maybe we'll do a curved one. Maybe we can find a curved one or something kind of cool like that. Right. So I think now we need a space for the name. So I'm going to put that right here. And let's use one of our colors in advance. Ooh, nice. Always love keeping a little color swatch there as well. So we will put...
My favorite thing ever, and I do it too, is when I've made something and then I work with it and then I'm like, ooh, this looks good. You're like, thanks, past Nick.
What's the name of our fun new font? I can't remember.
G something.
Jor.
Gorg. Hold on. I have it in my downloads. It is Gula.
Oh, G-O?
Gula.
There it is. I love this one. All right, Gula.
Oh, Amy asked, do you remember Salute Your Shorts? The show was the best from the 90s. That is my entire inspiration for doing summer camp. Just know that. Salute Your Shorts. Camp on Juana. Oh yeah, that was the show. That's 100% every time that I think about doing this show. That's all that I've thought about for the last few months.
Every time I think of the 90s, I think of I think it was when Jen did an interview with us when we were at Adobe Max, and we created. I know she's a huge. Was it Step by Step? Was that the show she's a big fan of? So we made the DVD look just like the Step by Step kind of DVD collection.
Feels right.
Awesome. I love it. All right, perfect. There we go. So we got that ready. Do we want a title on these? Would that be the way to go?
What if we just do pronouns?
What if we
and then it can be for anything.
Oh, that'd be. What if we did something that was color coded for either staff or
Oh yeah, I like
or,
that.
or student or
Yep,
something
let's
like
do
that,
that.
right? Perfect. So that will do that, and we will do staff. Perfect. Love that. Maybe what we'll do is we'll use our famous font here for that. I think this is Stoles. Perfect. And let's get a little contrast. We'll go with not enough. We'll go with our off-white. Perfect. So our goal here is to kind of have something. I'm doing this in the background. I'm sure Andrew's in a different time zone or something, so he hasn't even looked at this yet.
Yep. I haven't seen anything. Let me block all these screens.
Yeah.
And so what's going to happen? Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, man.
So what's going to happen is, right, Nick's working on this, and I'm going to switch to being his collaborating designer, right?
Yes.
So collaborating designer, Nick and I are talking. Maybe he sends me over an email. He's like, hey, I did the base of one of these, but we need to build out some more for different staff positions, right? So
yeah, and maybe I'm done.
Yeah,
maybe
yeah. He's like, I'm tired. I'm going to sleep. And I'm like, okay, I guess. Just let me know what to do. He sends me a message, and I'm like, where's the file? So the great thing is Nick is going to save this. And what he's done is he's actually gone up. Nick, if you want to go up and show them where it is, up in the corner, there's a little silhouette of a person with a little plus. Right, and so if you click on that plus, up top, up higher. Oh, that was a library.
Oh, sorry.
We're not there yet. There we go. We'll get there though. So up above that.
Oh yes.
A little bit higher. Right there. Yep. There you go. So Nick has just typed in my Creative Cloud account. It has added me, and then it shows up in my Creative Cloud app. So I'm gonna switch back over to my screen. So Nick, share that with me. Nick, if you want to save that and then close it. And it shows up right here in my Creative Cloud app. I've already accepted it, and so it will pop up and say, hey, Nick has invited you to this document. You will click accept, and then it will show up right here in your Adobe Illustrator. So I can come in here and check this out. It is saved. It is probably syncing right now. It is downloading one document. It showed on that screen. So it is downloading. Now it is opening, and check this out. This is exactly where Nick left off. And so it's updated live between the two of us. Nick is asleep now. Good night, Nick. Thanks thanks for joining us. And I'm just going to move this over here so that I can do a couple color variations. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the recolor artwork, and then maybe I'll do one that's kind of a wild card, right? That changes it up completely. Right, so maybe we'll do staff, and maybe this one will be security. And what we can do is I'm going to click and drag over the entirety of the design that I want to change. I'm going to deselect that, go to edit, edit colors, recolor artwork, and it will bring up this this zone. And now I can kind of do a whole bunch of different changes. The first is I can say, oh, I want more orange. I can simply click and drag, and it will give me more of that orange. It will start to augment the colors so that there are more, and you can kind of create, maybe I want less of this green, pull that down, more of the gray, a little bit more of this beige in there. And it will start to augment those colors from what we have. So you can pull those down. What's something we can also do is I'm just going to reset this, or reset it back to where it is I can change the order randomly, and it's going to switch the order of these colors. So I'm going to do one version that is like this, right? It's a little wonky, a little weird, a little hard to read. Let's do that one. And this is maybe an
so
option.
Is Camp Knowhow.
Exactly. Maybe this is an option that we can change for Nick. And then one more thing that I want to show you is that Adobe actually has integration for color palettes. And so what I can do is I can come into my swatches panel over here, and then just click right here, open color themes panel. And this is something that the world has made all of the color palettes that you could ever need. So we're gonna go to explore, the explore tab right here, and you can search by keyword. So I'm just gonna type in camp. And here, let's see here. Ooh, these are fun colors. So Camping Katie, someone named Katie has made a palette for us about camp. So we are going to add this to our swatches. You can see it shows up over here in our swatches. And now we can use that recolor artwork again by going to edit, edit colors, and recolor artwork. Except this time we're going to go to advanced options, and you'll see that it has all of our colors over here, but it also has our new palette from Camping Katie. We can click on Camping Katie and check this out. It automatically switches those colors over for us. And then we can change the order till we have something that's kind of fun like that. Looks good. I'm going to hit OK. And there we go. Now we have something from Camping Katie. So we have all these different options, and it looks pretty good to go. And I want to get some feedback from Nick. And so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to open this file somewhere else. So I'm going to come back here, and instead of emailing this file to Nick and waiting for like, hey, Nick, can you send me all of your thoughts and feedback? Because that would be just the absolute worst. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to somewhere. Let me make sure that nothing is going to come up here that you guys can't see.
By the way, the thumbnail in my preview panel is updating as you are doing it.
Yes. So Nick's,
that's kind of crazy.
The thumbnails update in real time. Absolutely. So I'm going to come to a new resource that is assets.adobe.com. And assets.adobe.com is a great place where you can see all of the files that you're working on. And here's one that is shared with me. So I'm going to click on the shared with you panel and new summer camp. This is the one that Nick and I are working on. And so I'm simply going to click here. Oh, actually. Oh, it's not going to let me, Nick. You're going to have to share it with me is what's going to happen.
So I have to go back. I'm at my assets.
Actually, hold on. No, I might be wrong.
Yeah. What do you got?
Okay, so this is where I could send this to Nick if I was the owner, which I'm not. Nick is the owner.
I see.
But I could send this to Nick, and he could leave his feedback. So, Nick, if you want to go to assets.adobe.com, you can pull up that file.
Here we go. Good to go. Perfect.
There we go. And so let's flip over to Nick's screen. So I send this over to Nick, and oops. There we go. So I sent this over to Nick, and Nick now has the file. And real quick before we do this, I'm going to show you guys how to do that with an actual file that I own, just so I can show you that workflow. With this, there is, if you own the file, a little Get Link button up here in the corner. You're simply going to click on Get Link, and then from there, it's going to generate a link for you. You can copy that link, turn on commenting, turn on Allow to Creative Cloud. You copy that link and send it over. So imagine that I've sent this link over to Nick. Nick clicks on this link, and here's what it looks like for him. So, Nick, what are you going to do now with this?
So I'm going to place a pin here, and I'm going to be like, ooh, I'm not sure here. What were you thinking about this color?
Get ripped.
There we go. I'm going to be like, ooh, but wait a minute. This one's a little bit new, and I'm kind of digging it. So let's click here and go, love this new color. Let's go with it. Love it. Submit.
And I believe, Nick, can you try to tag me in that? Because I believe that you might be able to tag people in those comments as you leave them.
All right, so I'm going to say, maybe this one wasn't working, so I'll do @Andrew.
Yes.
And there you go. So now he's going to... Boy, I have no issue thinking you're not going to find this, right? You're probably going to get a notification or something, right?
Yes, that's what I'm waiting for. So you can both pin things as well as circle things, draw and annotate. And if you kind of teach your clients how to do this, imagine the emails that you are going to save with this, of letting them being able to like tag these, circle these. Don't send me a like spreadsheet and a Google Slides with like a circle around something with a note attached to it. Just do it here in Creative Cloud, right? Super easy.
Yeah.
So Nick does all of these changes, and let me open right here. And I can open back up that file. And I actually think that I'm getting emails on these, but I'm not going to open my email for you guys. But when I come back over here onto my screen, you can see, oh man, I have all these things. Great. So Nick has said a bunch of stuff, and I can say, cool, love this color. Great. I'll get on it. And then submit that. So we can track all of our changes. We can track everything with our clients right here within assets.adobe.com, within the Creative Cloud app. It all exists in the same place, and it saves us a whole bunch of time to be able to do all of that. So Nick, it looks great. We love it. We've gotten our feedback. And so I'm going to come back as a client and say, Nick, this is great, but we need to be able to use it on a wide scale. We need to be able to have the colors, the logos, all that stuff. Can you build us a Creative Cloud library?
Yeah, let's do it. So let's open up. I'm going to open it up back on my end here, and we'll see. We've got everything kind of ready to go.
Yep.
All this stuff, right? So let's have a little fun here. We'll take this
Ooh,
one.
sorry, somebody had a great
Yeah.
suggestion in chat. Can you make a calendar link for Office Hours Summer Camp? Yes, I'll make that for like just a Google shared link. And then that way, it's every Friday at 2:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. But I'll make a little link that you can click to put onto your calendars. We'll have that up next week.
Wonderful. So I'm going to take that. Maybe we'll do this one here. Maybe we need a blank one just in case as well. And then let's do this one. Will be our student one maybe. And what we're going to do is probably just get these and get them into the library, correct?
Absolutely. So what Nick's going to do is there's a difference between a cloud document, which is what we're working on here that's been going back and forth, and
Yes.
a cloud library. So we're going to be building out a library. A library is just a tool to be able to have assets that you can share with other people, share with your collaborators, and kind of use easily. So Nick's going to build out a Creative Cloud library, and then I'll show you how to share that with other collaborators so that
Perfect.
your logos never change, your colors never get off, nothing ever gets weird and wonky.
Nice.
And so Nick, let's go ahead and create that
Yes.
library, hop in,
I'm going to
and
create this
start
one
doing
here.
some stuff.
So we'll call this Summer Camp Badges. Perfect, ready to go. We will hit create and we're good to go here. So immediately, probably even before I'm doing anything, I'm just going to invite to the library and we'll get Andrew here.
Me? I get to be a part of this?
You do.
Yay.
You are part of the magic.
Yes.
Okay.
And so I might cut back to my screen. We'll see when it actually pops up. But I will get a notification that says that I have been invited to this library. And as Nick builds it, we're actually going to show you kind of the back and forth as Nick builds it, what it looks like on my screen as well, because it will update live as well. So Nick, go ahead, start building out the pieces and show people how to do that.
I'm going to take this one here. There's two ways around it. You obviously, when you have your libraries open, you can drag right to this here. But what I find the easiest, because I'm already clicking on it, you just do a right click and you get to add to library. And you'll see here, boom. We show up. I'm going to go, I think out of habit, I go right to it and double click it. So I'm going to call this badge with name, just to know that I've got that ready to go. We'll click on this one, do the same thing. And this one will be badge no name. And then he wanted to see what a student one would look like, but we didn't have time to do any colors. So I'm going to get that one here and we'll double click. Badge underscore student. Perfect, ready to go. So now I'm starting some stuff here as well. I think also if we want to, let's say he just wanted this one as well. I think he put in a request that he just wanted our summer camp badge to be ready to go. So we'll take that as well. And we'll do the same thing, add to library, boom. And this will be summer camp badge hero.
And as you guys can see, I'll flip over to my screen. I actually got an email, and this email says Nick Longo has invited you to collaborate on the Summer Camp Badges library. So it pops up in my email, lets me know, and if I click on that, what's going to happen is it is just going to open in my Creative Cloud app, and now I have a notification right here that just says Nick has invited you. I'm going to click on accept. And then as things start to sync, we're actually going to see over on the side here, it's going to show up within right there, Summer Camp Badges updated live, right? Pretty cool. And so it is updated right here live. I can click in there. And then as Nick keeps dragging these in, so Nick, drag something in to that library and watch what happens on my screen.
Yes, let's get this one here. Oops, give me a second. I love that you don't even need to have it grouped. You can just do it right there.
Right. So he's there. Boom. Comes over to my screen and 3, 2, 1. There it is right there. Artwork 1. And so Nick didn't name it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to double click and just say, oh, he did.
There you go. New badge.
Cool. So that should update in mine. I had it selected, so I don't know what's going to happen with that as I was doing it.
Sensei's going crazy right now.
There we go. Badge. It just updated. New badge right there. So it definitely works pretty much in real time when you're working with libraries. And then what I can do is, Nick, go ahead and keep working on yours. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab the colors and start building out color swatches. So Nick, keep going on yours, build out some more assets in there, and I'm going to make a little color library for us.
Love it.
And so what I can do, check this out, is I can just grab one of these if I want to get the colors real quick. and I can place it. I can click and drag, and place it anywhere. And let's say, Nick, we had the wrong year on here, right? That it was 2021, but we wanted to say 2022 because we're going to be doing this next year. Check this out. So anywhere that this is placed, actually, Nick, can you do this? Can you place SC badge hero? Can you just drag that onto your document from the library somewhere?
Here we go.
Okay, y'all aren't ready for this. Okay, so go ahead and zoom in on that and watch what happens. So on my screen, I'm going to go ahead and hold Alt or Option and then click and drag this out. So I'm going to make sure that we make this 2022. I'm just going to change this graphic right there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to click and drag and hold that over this badge hero. Or we can do this, which is way easier. You can just right click on this piece that is in the library. I can click on Edit, and then I'll come over here, change it to 2022. And then let's just straight up hop over to Nick's screen. Watch what happens to this when I save it. So I just saved it on my document, give it like 10 seconds, and it will update that badge. There we go, right there. So it updates that badge.
Look at that.
Everywhere that it's ever been used, across any document, across any piece, anywhere that that is linked. Any collaborator, it is going to update. Nick didn't even touch his computer, and because I made the change on that, it went ahead and fixed it and changed it to the new one. Right?
Amazing.
Amazing. That is the thing that like blows my mind, because I started using like cloud library elements in Photoshop, and I realized that I made a typo on something. I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to go back and do them all. And then I changed one and started opening my other files, and it had changed across the board.
Unbelievable. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that is like simplicity at its best, and then it's productivity at its best. Because like that's the stuff that takes hours. You could still charge for it.
That's the thing. The faster that you get, the more you should charge. So don't be like, oh, well, it didn't take me very long, so it's just going to, you know, whatever. Increase your hourly rate. Don't give that up for free. And I'm going to do something else here, Nick, real quick.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm going to hop over to my screen and check this out. So not only can you save like graphic elements in Creative Cloud, you also can save paragraph styles, right? So I'm going to go to Window, Type, and then go to Paragraph Styles. I'm going to make a new style, and I'm just going to name this Title. So I'm going to enter, and then from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the plus down here, and I'm going to do new paragraph style, and then I'm going to change this to title. So Nick, can you do something for me on your end?
Yes.
Can you go ahead and select some of the type where it has the staff name and student?
Yes.
Those. Go ahead and select those, and then when your Creative Cloud updates over in that library, just go ahead and assign that paragraph style to them.
Title. There we go.
Boom. So now I decide, you know what? I don't want this title to be in this font. It needs to be tracked in a little bit. What I can do is I can right click here. And then I believe, hold up.
Yeah, keep going.
I'm trying to,
You can edit your...
there's a way to edit this. Yes. All right. Here's what I'm going to do is I'm going to change and then give Nick an update. So I'll just say basically, hey, Nick, I actually am going to track this out a little bit, and we are going to make the size bigger. Oops. There we go. Fit that down there. And then I'm going to save a new paragraph style right here and just put updated title. All right. So that will sync for you, Nick.
Wonderful. So now we have
so it's synced on my side.
Style.
Yep.
So I'm going to highlight this again.
Yep.
New paragraph. Whoops. Let me see.
It should be. It should. This might be where we messed it up.
Let's see.
I may have messed it up. And someone's asking, is this just for this document? No. Creative Cloud libraries go across the board. This will live in every document that you ever want, and it will go across the board. So, for example, I'll just show you on my screen something that I actually use for clients. This is a client that I did branding for. We have all of their different taglines in here and all the different colors. We have additional graphics. We have badges. We have all of their Pantone swatches so they can keep those, all their character styles, all of their marks, every variation. And this is something that if I wanted to, I can go and change one of these. I just have them all here, and I have these in any document, right? So I'm doing office hour stuff right now, but I can go in and check all of my Creative Cloud libraries, and they're all there all the time.
Amazing.
So Nick, we've got about 5 minutes left, and I want to do something that we are going to be doing every single week that we want you guys to be a part of.
Yes.
And Nick, what is that called?
These are our homework merit badges.
Yes.
Did I get it correct?
It is time for the merit badge. It actually wasn't where I was going, and then I remembered that's where I needed to go. So thank you, Nick.
I looked at the rundown. I know what I'm talking about.
Yes. So we are going to be doing, yes, that's right, some merit badges. And this week, what's our merit badge, Nick?
It's so fresh. It's so clean.
So fresh and so clean.
This is for you guys to use, and if you're gonna take a snapshot of rearranged files, folders, your desktop, your workspace, whatever it is, and you've done some organization, some cleaning, take this PNG we have in Discord, drop it on your image, and post away. We want to show everybody the office hour spirit for sure.
And also, I think that's the first time that Nick has ever punched his mic. I do it all the time.
It was the watch there.
It was the watch. So yes, your homework this week, and we're going to call it your merit badge challenge, is to get working on something. You can get organized on something, you can collaborate on something, but the focus here is to keep it clean and tidy, right? If you're going to be working with your buddy, maybe that you've made in Discord, right here, this Discord with that link that you've clicked. If you're going to make something with your buddy, if you're going to clean up your files using Creative Cloud Storage, if you're going to share a link with a client, go ahead, just post a screenshot that you're doing that in Discord. Maybe you're just cleaning up your desk, right? For me, my desk is an absolute mess. I'll post a picture of it right after this in Discord. It's a nightmare, but we can post this and then maybe post a before and after. And check this out. Nick and I have a very special thing for you, and that is that we have added a custom emoji to Discord to give you your merit badge. So you can earn your merit badge right here. It is just so fresh is the name of that merit badge. And we'll have, I believe, 6 of the merit badges that you can earn throughout the time here on Office Hours Summer Camp. And yes, Nick, record-breaking moment the first time Nick hits the mic, yes.
It must be just having a break and coming back. I'm still not ready.
It's true. It's right. So again, join this Discord down here. We're going to be hopping over there like immediately after the show. In about 5 minutes, we'll be hopping over, kind of getting your feedback about what you want for this season, as well as kind of talking to you guys about buddies, what you can do, earning your merit badges, what's coming up, that kind of stuff. And speaking of what's coming up, Nick, I want to talk a little bit about, I don't think we have time to actually do one today, but I want to talk about a special segment that we're going to be doing next week. And what is that segment?
That would be our star campers.
That's right. We got to get some star campers in here. So our star camper is going to be a highlight that we do each week of one of you from our Discord community that's doing awesome work, that's doing cool stuff, or maybe is just earning their merit badge, right? If we give you homework, go ahead, do that homework. You can put it in our homework channel over here in Discord, right underneath the summer camp. You can drop it in that homework channel, and we are going to be highlighting you on the stream as our star camper each week. So make sure, again, join the Discord, become a part of that, and play along. It's going to be a fun 13 weeks.
Yeah. It'll be like the old days of just getting back in there and seeing someone's work and exploring and seeing everything that you guys are working on.
It'll be really
fantastic.
Fun. So talking through next week, Nick, I know we've talked a lot about this being a new show, what's coming up. We do have a lot of great stuff coming up. We were going to go over the entire semester, or the entire camp schedule, but we decided not to. But I do want to give you a preview of what we're talking about next week. Nick, do you know what we're talking about next week? I'm going to throw it to you and see what happens.
Be really accountable for this and talk about accountability, maybe?
Yes, so we will be talking about accountability and kind of what... Oh boy, that's not the button I wanted. Sorry. We're going to be talking about accountability. We just lost your video for a second. And kind of going through how to both find mentorship, right? We have a lot of people asking questions about mentorships, right? We're going to talk a little bit about finding mentorships as well as how to stay accountable in those mentorships. Nick and I have been talking, and Nick, what is the conversation that we've had about a year of office hours. We're over 50 episodes now. What's the conversation we're having? Why do we decide to talk about accountability?
You're putting me on the spot.
On the spot again.
Was it just kind of the idea of like responsible kind of decision making and all that other things that we were talking about?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we talked a lot about, and especially we talked a little bit in our last season, which was Office Hours to the Rescue. A lot of people were, how can I get exposure? How can I improve my portfolio? How can I move on from here? And so we started talking about, we've done a lot of episodes about this. We should do an episode about accountability, about how to keep yourself accountable to setting goals, how to work with someone else to keep them accountable, and then talk about mentorship, about how to get one, and then how to maybe have that mentorship function in a positive way. Nick and I did a one-on-one mentorship this morning.
Yes, with Anika.
Oh yeah, with Anika, who I believe is in chat.
Yeah, it was wonderful. We had such a great thing. But also too, like, accountability is us being accountable for ourselves in such situations when maybe we even drop the ball, when, whatever it might be. And I think it's a humbling kind of thing to be a part of and realize that, like, hey, sometimes it might have been me.
Yep.
I think that's one thing that I think we should all kind of consider a little bit more.
Absolutely. And next week will not be a merit badge. As we said, we're doing every other week merit badges. So next week will be an outdoor adventure. So make sure you stick around, come back next week. We'll be giving you an outdoor adventure to do. And it will be a fun activity to get you away from your computers, out into nature, and try something new. So thanks for joining us for the first episode of the first week. I guess we're going by weeks now. The first week of summer camp. We did it, y'all. We are going to head to our cabins. Come join us to our cabin chat over in Discord, and we will see you next week for Office Hours Summer Camp. Bye.
Bye, everybody. See you guys.